I think a lot of people expected this to happen at some point, just not on a random Tuesday afternoon. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, the Sacramento Kings made it very clear today to the media that they are open and willing to shop De'Aaron Fox. And this is something that has grown like insane, has gotten out of control in the last 3 hours because, like I said, this started off as the Sacramento Kings shopping De'Aaron, basically going up to him and saying, hey, we know that you might not re-sign with us when your contract is up, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of see what's around. If we make a deal, we're going to check in with you, make sure that it works out with your situation and you're going to a place that you want to go to. But at the same time, we're not going to force anything. We want to get good players and good, draft picks in return. So that's how it sounded. Right? And at first, I'm like, okay, this is good. This is all right with me. We're looking to make better deals. Yes, it's sad if we see De'Aaron Fox possibly leave, but if we can get certain guys in return, then that's good. But in the last 3 hours, it's basically turned into De'Aaron Fox requesting a trade, saying, hey, I want to leave, and I would specifically love to go to San Antonio and play with Victor Wembanyama, but if that doesn't work, I'm still remaining open to all destinations. And boy, do I have mixed feelings about this, because part of this entire situation for me is, it's De'Aaron Fox's fault. And the other side of me says that it's the Sacramento Kings and the organization's fault. But I say we kind of go back to where the Kings made the decision that this was the pipeline that they wanted to go down, right? And I think that all of that really starts when they drafted Tyrese Halliburton. When this decision was made, it was clear that Tyrese Halliburton was one of the best players to come out of this draft class. But it was also clear that he did not work alongside De'Aaron Fox. Having these two point guards that needed the ball in their hand just wasn't really gonna make sense. So the Kings had a tough decision on their hands. They could either get rid of De'Aaron Fox, the guy that has been with them for years, the promising player, and take a risk on making Tyrese Halliburton their future star, or they could just trade the younger guy that, hasn't really proved himself as much and get something in return, whatever. And we know the decision that they made. Does it kind of suck a little bit looking back on it now, looking and saying damn, Tyrese Halliburton really wanted to be a King for life, and De'Aaron Fox probably would have been fine if we traded him back then? Yeah, that hurts a little bit, but that's the decision that they made. They wanted to settle with De'Aaron Fox. They got Sabonis, and as we all know, it turned out to be a good move. The Kings broke their playoff streak. They made it to the, I guess a game 7 in the first round. And this is kind of where it starts to fall onto the Sacramento Kings organization. After that season that, you could say was a success because they made the playoffs, they didn't make any moves. They gave Harrison Barnes an extension, which I so wholeheartedly disagree with. They didn't make any moves. They didn't try getting better. They just thought to themselves, you know what? We were the 3rd seed this year, and we made it to game 7 against the reigning champions. I'm pretty sure the Warriors were reigning champions at that time. So let's just run it again. And that has proven to be the worst decision that they have made, because them sitting there and staying still has now been the theme of this team for years. And I know we were all very excited when they went out and got DeMar DeRozan. It was the biggest free agency signing that they had, but all that does to you is give you a window. DeMar DeRozan is 35 years old, so you're basically going to De'Aaron Fox and saying, yo, we have maybe 3 years left of you being on this team, so why the fuck would he want to sign a new deal with your team if DeMar DeRozan is the co-star you're going to put next to him, and he only has maybe 3 years in him? So that's kind of where I start to put the blame on the Sacramento Kings organization, right? And we could talk about drafts for days. The fact that they drafted guys like Davion Mitchell or Devin Carter, more guards, when we're seeing drafts that had heavy talent in the center position or wings or forward, whatever it is, but they continue to guard drafts. Or they continue to draft guards. Sorry, I'm all over the fucking place right now. So yeah, there's a lot of issues for the Sacramento Kings, and I think I already said it, but they failed to go out and get guys like John Collins. They failed to go out and get guys like Cameron Johnson, not Cam Thomas. And so in situations like that, it's yeah, I don't blame De'Aaron Fox for feeling hey, this team isn't really going to do anything. Now, I don't want to get into the rumors. I don't want to get into the rumors too much, but there have been talks when it comes to the Kings organization. They are still just as dysfunctional as they were when they were losing a couple of years ago. Is anyone really shocked about that? Probably not. But I have heard through, certain people that the main problem is Wes Wilcox. He has gone to these players and said, hey, look who we're going to go sign. Look who we're going to get. And they end up not getting that player. And I can't help but feel like they maybe did that same thing this time. It was clear, actually, Domantas Sabonis said himself that DeMar DeRozan was like the third option that they had. They went to try to get two other guys. Wes Wilcox and the Sacramento Kings front office went to Sabonis, probably went to De'Aaron Fox and said, look, we're getting this guy, we're getting that guy. But those deals ended up falling through and they get DeMar DeRozan. So I have a strong feeling that they went up to Fox and said, look, dude, we're getting Cam Thomas or some shit like that. And they end up not getting it. Doesn't work out. And then it's like, you know what? I'm fucking done. Now let's put some of the rumors aside and just kind of look at the moves that could be made here. This doesn't have to be a move. The Kings don't have to make anything happen here if they don't want to. Obviously, it would be a little bit stupid for them because of De'Aaron Fox being a free agent soon. And for a while, I was sitting here thinking like, yeah, the Kings might not make a move if they don't have to. But after hearing Rich Paul and his agent say it would be wise for the Kings to move on from Fox right now, I'm starting to think we're going to see De'Aaron Fox in a different jersey before the trade deadline. And that jersey is, in my opinion, only one other team, the San Antonio Spurs. This is the situation where De'Aaron Fox says he wants to go to San Antonio, and I truly think that they have the best package available. I've heard Kings fans talk about the Houston Rockets, and we're getting Reed Shepherd or Jalen Green. Personally, I'm not that big of a fan. I've even heard some Kings fans talk about Miami, how Miami would want to take a huge risk, a huge swing by going for De'Aaron Fox and maybe giving us Tyler Hero. The Miami Heat are not trading Tyler Hero. I don't know why people think they are going to get rid of Tyler Hero. He is worth way more than De'Aaron Fox. So I feel like the San Antonio Spurs just makes the most sense. And in return, I know a lot of Spurs fans might not like this. I want Stephon Castle. If you give me Stephon Castle as like the main guy in return, I'm a happy camper. I think a backcourt of Stephon Castle and Keon Ellis would be deadly. That'd be the best defensive fucking backcourt we've ever seen. And if you shape out the roster a little bit and make some of those other moves that we were talking about earlier, I think they could still be a somewhat competitive team. But that's the other question. Do we even try? If De'Aaron Fox is off of this basketball team by February 6th, are the Sacramento Kings still any good? Can they even make anything happen? Genuinely, I don't really know. I think that the biggest thing in all of this is that if De'Aaron Fox goes, if De'Aaron Fox gets traded, everyone else starts to kind of question how they feel about the team. I think we start to see Malik Monk kind of question his decision on re-signing. He could have gotten a ton of money elsewhere, but he decided to stay in Sacramento. Maybe his bond with this city, or how he feels about finally having a home in the NBA, is strong enough to where he doesn't feel that way. But once again, he is originally here because he's best friends with De'Aaron Fox. Like, that is why he's in Sacramento. Domantas Sabonis re-signed with Sacramento because he saw a future with him and De'Aaron Fox. DeMar DeRozan, like all of these guys, De'Aaron Fox is the cornerstone. He might not be the guy that's going to consistently give you 30 a night on the team, because some nights it's going to be Sabonis, some nights it's going to be Malik, some nights it can be fucking Doug McDermott. But they're all here because of De'Aaron Fox. So a lot of the time I start to think that if, De'Aaron Fox goes, yeah, we might get some good guys in return. We might still win a couple of games here and there, but I don't really know how the rest of the team reacts to something like this. That's something that's a little bit scary to think about. But that being said, I have so many more kind of opinions on this. This is a very different video. I actually just sat here and ranted about everything. There was no structure to this at all. There's probably not much edits, as well as I'm a little bit on like a time crunch here. So if you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe, because if a move does happen, whether it's De'Aaron Fox or Jimmy Butler or some shit, I am going to make a video about it. So you're going to want to say subscribe so you know when that video comes out. Comment down below everything you have to say about this situation, whether you want De'Aaron to stay, leave, who you want in return. I want to hear everything. I read and respond to everyone. And you already know, because it's about the Sacramento Kings, I'm going to be down there talking to damn near every single person that comments. So go ahead and do that. This is a pretty terrible time to be a Kings fan, but I would be excited to see De'Aaron Fox go and play alongside someone who's going to be the face of the league within like 2 years, if he's not already. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Later.